Are you tired of people always telling you what they think you want to hear? If you want truly good advice, take it from me. Ask an asshole. Hit up Aaron Clary at assholeconsulting.com. A link is in the description.
Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here, Redonkulous.com, and Bad Pop showed up, but in all reality, this might be Mad Pop, and you're gonna find out now. If you've been following this channel, you'll recall about 4 years ago I made a video called System Surfers. If you haven't seen it, please check it out and get up to speed. And if you haven't seen it, it only took about 10 to 30 seconds to get as pissed off as I am. Check it out.
I want to give a shout out to my kids' real daddies. Thank you, government, for putting me on. I mean, you was the definition of a real father. Because when your kids is hungry, they have food stamps. Yeah, we shop at Walmart. Yeah, we shop at Publix. We shop at Winn-Dixie. When your kids need shelter, yes, you have housing. And you also have Section 8 for a lot of us. And when our kids fall, get hurt, or sick, they have Medicaid. Yes, we go to the ER, we go to the walk-in clinic, and we also can make a doctor's appointment. I get their prescriptions with no hesitation. Now, if that's not the definition of a real father, making sure your kids have food, shelter, and healthcare, I don't know what it is. So like I said, thank you, government, for being my kid's daddy, and thank you for putting me on.
Every time I see that clip, I want to punch that bitch in the face. Look at this goddamn cunt. Sounds refreshing, but it really isn't. And ask yourself, how many of your tax dollars paid for that goddamn weave? Not to mention, baby, did you fall down the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down? And then fall down the stairs holding fishing tackle? What the fuck is up with your face? $75,000 in government benefits? And you can't get yourself some decent makeup? Whatever, it's been 4 years and that stupid bitch still spins me up. I'm winding it back down so I can really get wound back up because of this article by Mr. John Tabb, you ruthless, logical mother fornicator. And this episode is a tribute to you, Mr. Tabb, and your article, The New American Way of Life. And if you get a chance, check out my video, System Surfers, because you inspired the sequel. Welcome to System Surfers 2. So please, ladies and gentlemen, pour yourself a menagerie of alcohol, preferably some not paid for with government tax money, and let us begin. Yeah. First, I would like to thank the Democrats, or as I like to call them, the New Socialist Party, for making all of this possible. You were so desperate to re-enslave the black population, you didn't count on the influx of the redneck white trash brigade. Thanks to your evil butt buddies, feminism, all of this is even easier than it ever has been before. Especially if you're a woman, or you're more resistant to the sun for whatever reason. Does it get dark in here? If you check out System Surfers 1, we go through the entire list of all of the benefits they get, and they're not even counted in their income. And why? Because more women live in poverty. No, not even by a long shot. Go drive through urban bumblefuck wherever and see how many homeless chicks there are.
The Shermanator sensors detect no female life forms in the vicinity. High likelihood of a sausage fest in progress.
And why is that? Because they pull the ripcord on the golden vagina and say, I'm gonna get a check. Or they go to the shelter. And if you don't believe me, next time you have contact with a homeless dude, ask him a simple question. Ask him if he's ever been put out of a shelter because a woman came in, especially a woman with kids. And if he says anything other than, oh yeah, that happened to me, I owe you a beer. And how do I know this? I talked to those guys because I was once homeless. And a lot of those guys, veterans. With all of that being said, you homeless dudes, especially you homeless veterans, if you have already been crushed under the system, there's not much I can do to help you. After all, that's what the system was designed to do.
Because I win.
This is bullshit!
But I know you guys love the pictures of the butts. This is good news for the dudes out there that still have a little bit of money and can maneuver. After decades of being cut out of the loop, Men have found a way to worm themselves back in. And why is that? Because men, there's some cunning, resourceful motherfuckers. In fact, they built this civilization. Us men, we spent the past half a century getting fucked. And now, we want our goddamn reach around. And thanks to Mr. Tabb, not the soda, this is how you do it.
Tab, I can't give you a tab unless you order something.
Right, give me a Pepsi free.
You want a Pepsi, pal, you're gonna pay for it.
Number one, if you are in a relationship, don't you dare marry it. Because if you do, none of this applies to you. You are disqualified. Because if you do that, you're taking Uncle Sam's penis right up the keister, and when he's done and he rips it out, he's taking your wallet with it. Your wallet will be impaled on the tip. You remember that when you're 16? You know, just the tip? We know where that goes. And he's gonna take all of that money. You know, the money that is the penis-shaped hole where the president's head used to be? He's gonna give that to your ex.
And the judge said all the money. And we'll just shorten it to alimony for the people at home.
Before we move on, gentlemen, just to recap, what is rule number one?
Don't marry her.
Boom! But, and you love the buts, if you really want to game the system, you're gonna have to slip a couple by the goalie. But before we get into all that goddamn pussy action, you gotta have a place to keep them. Number two, buy a house or have a house. However you got it is your own goddamn business. I don't care if you want to sell crack or meth out of your living room. I don't judge. I'm just telling you how to get over. And once you get that house, your name only appears on that deed, nowhere else, period. No utilities, not even junk mail. You don't want it. Instead, get a P.O. box or use your mommy's address and have everything sent there. You don't want that house established as your primary residence. And here is why. You're gonna rent that house to your girlfriend and your 2 kids. Winning. I know you guys are like, Pop, why the fuck would you do that? Well, I'm gonna tell you, Big Daddy Government's gonna pay for it. Why? Instead of you and your girlfriend sharing a house, you have a single mother and her 2 kids renting a house. Income Section 8, and they're gonna pay you $900 a month for your girlfriend and your 2 kids to live in that house. You see where this is going? Are you pissed off yet? I am, and I need a drink. Once you got all that shit with the house tackled, you're like, well, now I have to take care of medical. I guess I'll cover my girlfriend and my 2 kids through my work insurance, right? Wrong! On paper, you're not living with her. You're living at your mother's house. So sign her up for Obamacare. It won't cost you nothing. Once you have Obama playing lifeguard to your genetic cesspool, walk that snot pocket right down to the nearest community college. All she's got to do is walk in there, show them the golden vagina, free college for the single mother. And then you're like, wow, well, you still have to feed your girlfriend and your kids, don't you? No, you're not buying a bag lunch. You're not throwing any money for lunches at all or any food. Big Daddy Government's gonna feed your spawn. And you don't have to worry about keeping in contact because she's gonna send you pics of her snatch on her Snapchat taken under the desk on her government paid for cell phone.
Street 5.
Think about this. You're already getting a free house, a free cell phone, free college, and free food. What could be next? Oh, that's right, free utilities. I know you guys are like, holy shit, Pop. This is pissing me the hell off, and it should. But I'm not done yet.
No! God, please, no! No!
And after all that's done and the government goons come and inspect it and make sure everything is good to go, then you just move in there and live for free. But your mail still goes to your mommy's house. In fact, do your laundry there too, screen 5. And there is still yet more, and this is the icing on the cake. Of all the stuff on this list that clearly pisses me off and you off, this next one is kind of ingenious. Hats off to the dude. If there's one thing that pisses everyone off to the same degree, no matter if you're on the left, right, center, it has 3 letters, IRS. If you get a chance to fuck those assholes back, even if it's just the tip, hats off to you, there you go. And you wanna know why? Do you wanna know what my personal grudge is? Even if you don't, I'm still gonna tell you. I've been getting milked for child support for a decade now, And I have not once got to claim my children on my taxes. A fucking whore. On a scale of hatred, you got the guy I mailed the can of his shit to. In fact, I made an episode about it. Check it out. And above that, there's a couple officers out there still sucking air that if I saw them, I would punch them in the face on sight. And then above that, you got my ex-wife's attorney and the judge, friend of the cunt. And then way up here, my ex-wife. And then at that level, somewhere between ex-wife and friend of the court, it kind of waffles per day, would be the IRS. There's a reason why IRS and SJW have 3 letters, because they have a lot of shit in common. Don't you admit wrongdoing, and don't you give them an inch, because once you do, they'll take the mile and come for everything that you fucking own. So this next step, if you dudes can pull this off, you're gonna get a little bit of respect, and that's about it. Each of you get to claim a kid on your taxes. And because you both have separate addresses, you both get to claim head of household and get $1,800 in credit.
I'll have whatever he's buying.
After you get done with all that bullshit, especially milking the college system, and your girlfriend doesn't want to work, she doesn't have to. She can file for disability. She can simply say she's crazy or has a bad back. And she'll never have to work again. They will send her $1,800 a month until she stops sucking air. And this is the most fucked up thing about this entire fucking scheme. It's all legal. It is 100% completely legal. Even the IRS can't come after these people for a fucking dime.
That's impossible. I've never seen anything like it.
I know some of you guys are like, hey Pop, you were raised by a single mother. Didn't you benefit from this stuff too? Wah? No, not really. First of all, this extensive welfare system did not exist to this degree when I was a child. I've been sucking air for almost half a century, and in that amount of time, this has snowballed to a behemoth. And I don't give my mother credit for a lot, but I will for this. She went on it after my dad left. She went to school. When she got done with school, she got off all this horse shit, and that was it. She did not look at this like a lifetime lottery win. She looked at it for what it truly is, a crutch to help you get back on your feet. Because when you break your foot, you're not on crutches for the rest of your life unless you're harvesting sympathy. This has become a lifestyle for millions of people, and that is shameful and repugnant. And with that being said, we're gonna get to my favorite part of Redonkulous, and I don't care if it's yours, the math. Winning!
Who is Uncle Nick? He's the uncle you wish you had. He's a cigar-smoking, aviator-wearing, liquor-loving punk. His own family won't take him anywhere because he's a walking megaphone of scathing opinion. So basically, he's a fictional version of Bad Pop. Check out Diary of a Misanthrope on Amazon.com today. A link is in the description.
Let's boil it down. An unmarried couple with 2 kids? This is what you get. $21,600 in disability. $10,800 in free housing. $6,000 in Obamacare. $6,000 in food. $4,800 in utilities. And that's a lot of utilities. AC 24/7. $6,000 in Pell Grants. $12,000 in college tuition for the golden vagina. Add it all up. That's $76,000 of free shit that you're all paying for! Screen 5. Normally we screen 5 when shit is awesome or absolutely ruthless, but this is absolute bullshit. And ladies, to get these benefits, you need a dude, but not for most of them. In this scenario, the only thing the dude helped you out with was the house and the additional tax credit. But in reality, you don't really need him for the house either. Looking at these numbers, are you actually surprised when I tell you that single mothers out-earn single men 2-to-1? That's not what feminism is gonna tell you. Hell, that's not even what the government tells people because they don't have to claim all this on their taxes at all. On paper, these people are still living in poverty at the middle class level. For half a century, we've been getting our ears blasted off by whiny feminists about this mythical wage gap. Could that be because you're not including any of these benefits in your income? Of course that can't be it because you guys are so responsible and take credit for everything, right?
Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
When you look at this, please be honest and ask yourself this. Where is the incentive for anyone to get married? Cast aside everything I taught you dudes over the past 5 years about marriage and the divorce industry. There still is no incentive here. Why get married and risk half your shit when you can play the System Surfer string-along method and get your money up front? On the flip side, for ladies, there is no incentive to get married either. Why get married and become the halfway hooker and wait 8 to 10 years to get your portion of the Alice's and horny money? You can just live with the dude and collect all your cash and prizes up front. The price is right. You won both showcases and all you had to bet was your vagina.
You naughty girl. Either you've got yourself an 18-year-old boyfriend or an 80-year-old with some little blue pills.
This is beyond fucked up. And you want to know what's worse? Millions of people pull this off flawlessly every day of every year. And they think there's no harm in it because this is free shit from the government. I got news for you. Nothing is free. In reality, there are dudes out there busting their ass, dying on the job, getting maimed so they can give up 25% or more of their check so you can get your blood money. And what's worse is you feel entitled to that blood money, you fucking parasite. And don't worry, I'm not that stupid to blame all of our $1 trillion worth of debt on these freeloaders. Between corporate greed, the Federal Reserve, and defense spending, there's a lot of blame to go around. So me trying to blame these idiots for everything is like me trying to blame all of World War II on Mussolini. He might not have started that war, but he sure as shit didn't help things. Space Ghost. If you take away one lesson from everything I've said here today, it's simply this. Nothing is free, and appreciate the shit that you got. I appreciate it because YouTube is fucking with us, and I'm still here because of you. I know it's not free shit, and you worked your ass off for your money, and then you give it to me, and I'm gonna work my ass off to tell you the truth. And if you haven't given yet and you want to, check out the links below: Patreon, PayPal, and Maker's Support. Your support keeps this channel rolling along and drinking. And if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when we make new videos. But don't forget, if you're gaming the system, put your mama's email address in there and we'll see what happens. I didn't hate my lawyer. He was actually the only, he was my third lawyer. I got totally fucking ripped off by the first one. The second one gave me my money back because he got caught involved in some other shit. And then I went in to see the third one, and he just flat out said, "Hey, you're gonna get fucked? You're gonna get bent over? My job is to make sure to limit the amount of strokes they take on you." And I was just like, "You're my man!"